And we're going to do that immediately. Let's get started. Let's just start with Miss Janila. Miss Janila, let's get started on NACA.
All right. So yes, thank you, Cam. NACA is NACA is a program that gets a bad rep. The word on the street is NACA is no good. It takes a long time. It's difficult. And while the time span may be a fact, right? It's definitely a process that is worthy of the time. And so going to NACA, you get no down payment. There's, excuse me, there's no down payment. There's no closing costs. There's no hidden fees with the program. No mortgage insurance. And right now, their rates are, if you're doing a 15 or a 30-year mortgage, at 6.37, right? So with all of those benefits, it's worth it to go through the process if you truly desire home ownership, right? You can, there are several workshops that you do have to partake in. So the first one is you have to engage in the property workshop. Sorry, the home buyers workshop is first. Then once they've gone through that 4-hour class, they go through the property workshop, and then they go through the purchase workshop, right? All of this is just the education, right? The counseling that needs to happen in order for them to understand the home buying process and what they're getting themselves into. And then that allows them to qualify for the NACA mortgage. Okay. And then once they're qualified, they get to go out and start shopping for it. They determine, what the budget is. A lot of times consumers feel like, okay, well, I got approved for this much. That's not enough to really get what I want. And the idea is it's affordable, right? We need to get into something that you can afford. This gone are the days of overpaying for a house, right? Over leveraging yourself, right? And getting into a mortgage that you truly can't afford, right? And so NACA just gives them the ability to get into a truly affordable mortgage with minimal upfront cost.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much for that. You had another option that you were very versed in and you really want to talk about. Let's talk about that also.
Yeah, so that's going to be the Harris County new construction single family program. This program, what I love about it is it allows people to get into the suburbs. So a lot of the programs that we talk about gets into the city of Houston, right? And so this program is Harris County, so still within Harris County Harris County limits, but it allows them to get into areas like Katy, into Spring, into Tomball, with new construction homes. So they're getting a brand new home. And basically, the program is structured. You have to stay in the home for 10 years, but it gives you the opportunity to really get a low purchase price as well as no down payment. They come in and they really fund a lot of those costs for the buyer. You do have to take a class, but it allows them to purchase new construction in those areas and really see a benefit.
I'm so glad you spoke about that. New construction is such a great option for people. People love brand new homes. You don't have to worry about the repairs or anything like that. But the good part about it, I love what you said about the opportunity to get in and be in the suburbs, but also be part of Harris County. That's great.
Yes.
Miss Lockett,
Yes.
jump right in here and let's talk about credit and other things, land trust, Section 8.
Yes, the land trust is a great program. It allows the buyer to purchase a home using the grant money. You either can qualify for the 150 or the $100,000 as a grant that does not have to be paid back. You can choose your own neighborhood, and you can also, whether it's a resale or if it is a new build. The other options are there is that you have to qualify for the home through the lender. And once you've been qualified through the lender, then you can begin the home shopping. You also have to have the educational certificate that they go to, like Janila has pointed out, with most of these assistance programs, you have to have that educational home certification. It is good for a year. So that way, that pressure is not there to say, hey, I got to get this home in a few, a couple of months, and think that you have to retake that course. And then the other thing about this is that helps make that affordable is that when you purchase the home, the city maintains the land. So what that, sounds a little different. It is, but it helps keep the home at a lower price if they're holding on to the cost of the land. And then you just pay a minimal lease for the land. So, and then your taxes are pretty low. And then you're wondering, how can I really afford that? But what it is once you qualify for the loan, you shop for a home in that price range, and they deduct the amount that you have been awarded, either 100 up to the 100 or to the 150, and then they deduct that, and you're left paying a minimal cost once the land has been taken away.
Wait. 1 minute. Wait, hold up. Hold up. I had to say something. Wait. Are you telling us that there is a grant out there of $100,000 to $150,000 that someone can receive? That's deducted out the home?
Yes, that is so true. And if something happens to you, God forbid, then that passes down to your heirs. And the heirs do not have to qualify like you did. Or if you decide you want to sell the home, then the home has to stay within that program so that it continues to make it affordable for the next buyer. And you're just responsible for the home, just like in any other. But yes, you can indeed purchase a home, and the city maintains the land.
Wow. You have another one that's exceptional on Section 8 voucher program. Let's talk about it.
Okay, yes, that is also a great program too, is that once you have been awarded, if you have applied and you have been awarded a bedroom, because basically, when they're doing the home voucher or the Section 8, they're awarded based on bedroom. So let's take, for example, that you have been awarded a 3-bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And you are looking. So here in the city of Houston, they have tiers A through D. And if you want to take advantage of the A tier, which usually allows you up to $3,333, then you can shop for a home. But you also have to qualify. They have loan qualifications that you must meet. And that basically, is the same with the home buyer program. And then once you awarded that and you decide you want to stay in the tier of 3,333, the city will pay $1,500, and then you will pay the other $1,500. Because most people don't really realize that they can indeed use that home voucher to purchase instead of renting.
Wow.
That just moves you into a different category, and you will have a job with this program. And then the intent is that you eventually will no longer need the home voucher, because if you're paying the $1,500 and able to maintain that, because that's what the program is there to help you get yourself so that you are self-efficient there with your family.
Wow.
It's like a stepping stone.
That really helps us, right?
Right. Yes, because you can purchase a brand new home with that, especially if you're in that tier A.
Wow. Ms. Vanda?
Yeah, I was going to say it's like a stepping stone and not a destination when people get on Section 8 to help them. If they're paying $14 a month, they're not supposed to pay that forever. It's just to save up their money so that they can get out of Section 8.
Wow. That's exciting. That is
exciting. Yes, it is.
I think most don't know about that one or know about these.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you. We're jumping in there, Mr. Terry. We're going to jump in. He is military, and he is a military vet. Thank you for your service, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thanks, Cam. Yes, I served 4 years in the military, so I'm excited about trying to help other veterans. And there are several programs out there some with no down payment, and a lot of veterans they can't navigate some of the bureaucracy that goes with the government, but it is programs out there. You can be exempt from your taxes. You know, if you're a disabled vet, you know, and a lot of veterans just don't, know about all the ins and outs. So that's why it's important that you work with a realtor, someone that's qualified. I have my certification in MRP, which I can help veterans relocate wherever they are. If they're going to a different state, I can work with veterans or connect them with someone that can help them. But it's all it's a lot of information, and it's a lot of down payment assistance. I was just looking at some of my notes. We have one hero program that is for veterans. It's a zero down payment. It's safe and secure. Like I said, no zero down payment, no money up front. And a lot of veterans, they may have problems coming up with 20% down. So I feel like that program is beneficial to a lot of veterans.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you spoke on that, Mr. Terry, because what happens is that with military, we need to honor you for what your service is, each one. So no zero down payment. And you help people with military relocation. So say they're already have decided or they're going to relocate, you can help them relocate to this location.
Right. Yes. And if it's in another state, we network with other agents in the area. So, if they're going to New York or Ohio, I just get on the phone and call one of the contacts that I collaborate with and send them that way. And they'll be on their way to home ownership.
Sounds good. That sounds good. Ms. Vanda, jump right in. You have several that you want to talk about. Zero down payment and USDA.
Yes, so there's a bank, IBC Bank. They partner with Avenue CDC, Community Development Corporation, and they have a zero down payment for any home in the area. Now, there are, of course, you still have to qualify for certain things. And I just want to make a point that for all of these zero down programs, always read the fine print, always read and see. It may be zero down now, but you may be paying it on the back end. You may be paying it every month in your interest payments. So just read the fine print, because we know there's no free money. There's no free money. As much as we make it sound like you can get this grant, some of them are forgivable after 3 years. Some are forgivable after 5 years. Some after 10 years. Some may not be forgivable. So just read the fine print on any of these programs. So we have about 15 or 16 on our list, but of course, due to time, we could only talk about a few of them. So the IBC Special Credit Program, zero down, and there's a class you have to attend. The class is $50 online, $100 in person. And that credit, that certificate you get is good for a whole year. You can use it with any of the programs that we talked about, even though you go with this program, because they are certified to give out that certificate. And it's just good information on how to save, how to budget, the home buying process, education. And me being a former college teacher, that education is important in knowing the home buying process. So educate yourself first on any of these programs. And the other one is the USDA, which if you want to live in the outskirts of Houston, you don't want to live in a big city, you don't want to live in Katy, you want to live in, let's say, Angleton or in what's another town, Sealy maybe. The population has to be less than 20,000 people to qualify for USDA. Now, the property has to qualify. So there's a website that we can provide where you can look up the address of the property and see if it qualifies. If it qualifies, then you also have to qualify.
Yes.
They don't have a high credit score requirement, but you can't make over a certain amount of money. So you can't make $200,000 and get one of these rural homes for the USDA. So for one person, for say, the maximum income is about $43,000 a year. So it goes up to like 8, a family of 8, and that goes up to like 120,000. So we have to look at that and see what the range is to see if you qualify for that. So I think those are good programs for people like me that want to live out in the country. I want, look at open land. I have a co-housing development that I'm starting, and I want that to be out there. I would like people around me. So I'm going to be trying to help people get USDA loans out in that area.
That sounds great. Ms. Janila, we're going to come back to you. Let's talk about some of the other programs, and we're going to keep going through several programs with the people so they can know about things that are out there. The whole thing is to educate. We've got to educate each other and let each other know. Ms. Janila, you had some more that you had.
Yes. And I'm glad you said that, Cam, because really, like with all of these programs, they're allocated a certain amount of funds. So it's not that they have like $20 billion. The land trust has a certain allocation of funds that they receive. And we're talking like billions that they have for these programs. But each and every year, that amount is getting decreased because people are not taking advantage of the programs, right? And so we really want to, that's why we're here today, to get the word out that these programs are available. Take advantage, even if you feel like, I don't really need it, take advantage of the program. If you qualify for it, take advantage of it, because we need to keep those funds in circulation, going out into the community. If they're presenting it, please take advantage of it. We don't want to keep having programs go away or being consolidated because people aren't taking advantage of what's available to them. And that goes for the military programs, like Terry was saying, with partnering with the VA. VA loan can partner with the home buyer credit, so you can get even more funds. And a lot of people are starting to get money back at closing instead of having to come to the table. Like, there's ways to do this, and we just want to help as many people as possible. But yeah, there's a lot of programs available to be able to do that. You got the TSAC program, which is and there's like several different components of that. They have Seth, they have Homestar, all of those that are under that program, but different qualifications for each designation under TSAC. But you just have to find the one that is that you qualify. But all of us have a link for down payment resources that you can go and see what you're eligible for. And then, yes, we talked about different segments, but all of us are qualified to be able to help you with the down payment assistance programs and get you into what fits you best.
Yep.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you said that. The other thing is that each one of you is able, like you said, to help each person. And I want to reiterate, buyers, always take someone with you for representation. No matter where you're going, if it's brand new homes, especially brand new homes, I want to reiterate this on the brand new homes. When a salesperson tells you, oh, we can take care of you, that funding for the realtor is already built in. You will not get any discount or anything without using a realtor. Take you some representation with you, because the education that the realtor has, you need that. Miss Lockett, jump right in and let's talk to them.
Yes, I do agree with that. Having that representation, you can kind of compare that when you go, as you were going to court. You definitely want to go there with your own attorney. You do not want to go unrepresented, because what people don't fail to realize, them new home sales representatives, they are representing the builder.
Yes.
and you don't realize that because you get caught up into, a new home. So I definitely agree wholeheartedly with that, because like I said, the programs change and the realtor can help you know what those changes are. And for instance, the Hero Home Buyer Credit, in which they give up to $30,000 toward your closing costs. Well, this was once limited to the law enforcement, fraud protection, educators, health providers, postal workers, FedEx, anyone in
Yes.
that transportation. And those people were, eligible for that. But then when the rise in the interest rate happened, guess what? Now it's open to anyone. And see, sometimes if you go online, you may not know that, but that information is shared, or we can find out that information about those programs. And what you do, they change. But get a realtor on board to help you with those programs, like Janila said, to see what fits best for you.
Absolutely. Miss Lockett, you had some more programs that you wanted to speak about.
All right, no, I don't think so at this time, so I can refer that to someone else.
That sounds good. Miss Vanda, jump in.
Well, I'm not sure what other programs she had, but I just wanted to read off some of the ones we didn't talk about that's available.
Let's do that.
Habitat for Humanity homeownership program. You guys familiar with that one?
Wow.
Habitat for Humanity. And then we also have HUD homes. So those are foreclosed homes. There's a website you can go to. You can bid on those homes online. And usually they're big fixer-uppers. So if there are investors out there or people that don't mind doing some painting, some hammering, and getting the house at below market value, those are some good homes that people overlook. So even if you only qualify for $150,000, we can find some of those HUD homes for less than that. You fix them up, you increase the value, and then you've got a $250,000 house.
Absolutely.
So I'm sorry, you gonna say something?
No, go ahead.
T-Shack, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have 7 different programs that people could be eligible for. Bank of America has a down payment grant program. Harris County Down Payment Assistant, homeownership across Texas, called the HAT program. That's another one. Houston Habitat for Humanity homeownership program, and I think that's it. So that's quite a bit, and that's all we came up with. There's more coming all the time. Sometimes these programs are discontinued, as Janila said. Sometimes the money does run out, and they may have to start over again in January. But if it's something that you're trying to get next year, let's get a roadmap. Talk to a realtor, talk with a loan officer, get your roadmap planned out so that you can be ready to buy in 4 to 6 months. This is my plug, I am a loan officer with CPC Mortgage. So if you need to reach me to get pre-qualified, it doesn't hurt to talk and just see where you are, to see what we need to do to get you where you want to go, then reach out to me. I'm available.
Sounds good. Ms. Janila, we have a question about NACA. You were talking about NACA and the qualifications and the things. They have to go and take a class, right?
Yes. So the first class is a 4-hour home buyer workshop. And then there are 2 more classes that they take. They're either online or they can go in person. And that's going to be the property workshop, which describes what kind of property they will be looking at, because they can purchase a property that needs some repairs, but they don't want it to be extensive repairs. And then you have the purchase workshop that talks about all the components of purchasing a house, your closing costs, the down payment, the things that they're not with this program paying for, but what does that overall process look like to purchase a home? What do I need to know about homeowners insurance, right? Home warranty, all of those things that we don't think about on the front end, but they're necessary for you living in the home and having a good experience in your new home. And so just making sure that you take advantage of those classes, because NAGA is really about the education piece, the counseling part, making sure that you are truly prepared to purchase a home, not just in cash and money with credit, but mentally, that you're ready for the home ownership.
Sounds good. Miss Lockett, people are asking about, of course, the land trust program. 100 and 150,000. You hit the jackpot when you said it. Let's go back over some of those things so people can kind of understand what that program really looks like.
I had a homeowner, a home buyer to kind of go through that program, but when it got almost there, they decided they didn't want to do that. Did something pivoted, did something differently. So the program, the client had to qualify as a buyer, meaning you have to meet those credit scores. You have to have some money down, and you have to take that home buyer education course, which is 8 hours. And they had to go with the CTL preferred lender, because they had a lender. They had to go with that lender. And once that lender qualified them, that's when they start shopping for that home. You have to go through their preferred lender so you can get qualified. And from there, they will let you know which of these 150 or the $100,000 you qualify for.
Wow. Wow.
And I'll also touch, like Janila said, was this, but here with this program, the home has to be move-in ready. You cannot have a fixer upper.
Right.
And you cannot be in a flood area. So you have to take those things into consideration. But when you're working with the realtor can help guide you with those type of guidelines with things, even, for the new builds. It just, just meeting your criteria. But it is a process. It just takes time. You have to be patient with that. Even if this was just a regular home buying process, it's the same thing. You may not just realize it. It's still a process. It's not like move-in ready. You still have to get that qualification. You still have to have those credit scores, and you have to have some money to move, because there's always expenses, even if it's just a small earnest money, or small fees like to pay for that. So you have to have some cash. You just want to be ready. So if you're that person that's gonna think you're gonna get a refund back, and you're ready to do that, save that money.
Right.
Allocate that money for your home buying process so that you feel great. You already have a starting point, and work with those that can help you get that. Just stay focused. It can happen. The home buying process, I would love to help anyone to be able to get into those homes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's so great. Mr. Terry, jump right in. Military. So happy that you're with this, but the zero down payment program for military and the interest rates are so minimal. They're low for military families.
Yeah, and then it's they don't charge a funding fee, so it's very affordable. I know when I bought my first home, I used my military entitlement and was able to get in with no money down. I mean, it's affordable, and it helps the veteran. It helps the veteran and their families. It's just so many programs that's out there, and sometimes the military veteran doesn't know about certain programs. That's why it's important to have somebody that's knowledgeable and has experience in that area, and you through that process. It can be tedious and it can be just stressful, but we can ease those burdens by guiding you, putting you in connection with the right persons. It's all about collaborating with the right people.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you in what you say, because that just having some representation, having somebody guide you, having somebody help you through this process is going to be advantageous to all of you, all of the buyers. in what they're doing and what they're talking about. Ms. Vanda, jump right in here too. Let's talk to some sellers.
You want to talk to sellers?
Let's talk to sellers.
Sellers. Well, we can help you find a new home if you would need to sell your house and relocate someplace else. And we can help you find a home even before you have sold your home.
Yes.
So that you can be out of your house. You don't have to worry about people coming in to open houses and coming in disturbing you and having your house clean all the time. We can find you someplace before that. Now, I know a lot of people aren't moving right now because the interest rates are a bit high and they may have those 2 and 3% interest rates, but we can do some creative financing things. There's owner financing that can happen, depends on how much equity they have. So it all just starts with a conversation so we can find out the who, what, why, when, where of your situation, because every situation is different.
Absolutely.
One of the things that I want to mention is that a lot of people are struggling with like, where am I going to get this money from? But there are things called gifts that are allowed to be given to a home buyer. They can be given from family members. There's even some organizations that will match a gift fund. They just have to be able to source where this money is coming from. So for Christmas, it might be a good thing if you want to, you know, treat somebody to or a wedding gift or something like that. Instead of giving them money, you give them a gift of some equity. Like, I'll put this towards your new home purchase, you know. There's programs like that that will help. And then you don't always have to live in a house by yourself. You can always co-own with a family member. Maybe you have an elderly person that has great credit, and maybe they can co-sign with you, and then you can take care of them until they're, you know, end of times, and then they pass that house down to you and your family, and you know, it can work like that. So it can really be a win-win for people if you kind of just think outside the box. You can get a big house with, you know, 2 masters, or a master on one side of the house, and they don't call them masters anymore, primaries on one side, and then other people on the other side, or upstairs and downstairs. So you know, community living should be coming back to people. I think during the COVID, people were very isolated from each other, and they're trying to get back to where they have people around them. So maybe this holiday season, have that talk with your family about, you know, what would happen if I'm living by myself and I break my leg. Who can I come live with? You know, who could come live with me? How can we share this house that I have that's already paid off? I don't want it to go for unpaid taxes when I'm dead, and then none of the family has it. Who is going to take over? And put those things in writing, you know, talk to an estate planner. And they're not that expensive. And we can refer you to some people at a very reasonable price to get those things in place. So I believe in, you know, leaving a legacy for your family. And also you can live in a duplex or a quadplex. You may want to live by yourself, but right next door is your grandmother. And right next to that is your uncle. And right next to that is your cousin. And you all own that building. You know, so just kind of think outside the box with home ownership.
Absolutely. I agree with you on that. I want to also tell the listeners that each one of these agents are very qualified to help in any way, buyers or sellers. They will be able to help you in any aspect that you have. During Thanksgiving, start talking to your families about an estate, the estate houses. Some people still have homes that are empty or vacant. Grandmother passed or grandfather passed or someone passed, and you all are still holding on to them and paying taxes on that property. Let's talk about selling or releasing that property and receiving the funds. And each one of these agents is able to talk to you about that. I know that their estate planning or estate sales, a lot of people don't understand as far as, you know, being owners of that and them just paying the taxes on it. Instead of letting the city end up taking the property, you still have value there. We want to talk about that. Janila, have you seen that before?
Yes. I'm so glad that we're having this conversation because so I am a life insurance broker, and we have a program that is equity protection. Because what we are finding as investors are coming in, swooping in and taking houses, right? They're buying them for, and I don't want to say taking, they're buying them for pennies on the dollar, right? And they're able to do so. Why? Because the family needs funds, right? So we created this situation where grandma's passed, grandpa's passed, we've got this house. We really need money more than we need this house. We love the house, right? And so instead of being in a position to leverage that house because grandpa, grandma didn't have anything to protect the equity in the home, right? Family's not now in a position to purchase that home or maintain that home, right? And so then investors can come in and purchase it for pennies on the dollar. And so then we're losing that generational wealth potential. And so being able to offer equity protection that says, hey, you've got this home. This buys you time, right? Because you need time to really sort things out. You're trying to grieve. You need to be able to go through that process and not lose the home in the process of your grieving, right? And so that's just a wonderful opportunity, that equity protection. So it's hitting it on both sides, getting you into the home, and then also helping you to maintain homes, real estate for your family for generations to come. We want to be a part of that process for you and getting you connected with the right people, like Vanda said, with the right real estate attorney, with the right person that's going to do your estate planning and all of that. We want to be that connect and help you on all aspects. And to the sellers, don't be afraid to receive offers that may look a little different, right? Be open to that because, veterans are coming with VA loans, right? It's not that difficult of a process. People are coming with these credits, right? They've worked hard to take these counseling programs, be a part of these down payment assistance programs. And so sellers, just be open to taking these offers. Even though they look a little different, they're maybe non-traditional, but they can be really advantageous to a lot of sellers.
Absolutely. Ms. Lockett, jump right in and and we're talking to all buyers and sellers, anyone in any aspect.
Okay, I think with the sellers, like Janila said, they need to be open. And sometimes, they want the equity and feel like, okay, I want this amount, but sometimes you need to do the math because sometimes when you do the math, you may not be as off as you may think. And if your goal is to sell the home, you put it out there on the market, be open to things and be also open to, do I really need an additional $5,000 just because I'm trying to get out? You have to do that because in this market, you don't have as many buyers coming by. So a lot of times, they're working with their realtor. It's not that day of age where, you put your house on the market and tomorrow it's gone. Today, when you have a buyer, you need to sit down and negotiate with the realtor and have in mind that it's okay to take a little less profit if you're trying to sell your home. And also, I just wanted to mention too that the Hero Home Buyer Credit also works for the seller. So if a buyer comes to you and they need that closing cost, the home buyer credit program, if the buyer can qualify for that, they also will allow them to have that type of program so they can help, with some of those closing costs that they need.
Absolutely. I'm glad you said that. And I'm glad both of you all are speaking on that as far as the sellers. Be open to all type of aspects because you're trying to sell your home. That's the goal. The goal is to sell your home. Once you get a contract and you're able to negotiate, work with that realtor, your realtor, as well as your realtor working with the other realtor to come to a safe place and say, yes, we want to take it because it's not for sure that you'll get additional contracts down the line. It's not like when it was 2% interest rate and it was 10 or 20 at one time coming at you. It's not like that anymore. Ms. Vanda, talk about that because you are in both sides.
You're right. It's not like that anymore. And we also have programs where we can take your house as is, where you don't have to fix it up. We have a thing called express offers at EXP, where we have people with they want to buy homes to fix up. So if you don't have the funds to fix it up and you just need money to move, we can help you with that as well. So hope people take advantage of that. And it's kind of like I buy your house or we buy ugly houses. You know, it's not going to be the top of the market, but if you don't have the money to fix it up, somebody else has to put in their money and their time. So you're not going to get top dollar for your house if it needs some fixing up. So what I recommend is if you know you're going to sell in a couple of years, start working on it now. Live in it. Fix it up now, because you don't want to just fix it up and then move. Like, oh, well, this is nice. I want to stay now.
Yes, sometimes we need to get away from the sentimental connection that we have with our, you know, homes and our properties. You know, if you want to sell, then, you know, we have to go in with that mindset that, you know, it's not about, you know, grandma, the memories that we had there. You know, we can still have those memories, but we have to detach with the sentimental mindset.
Take pictures.
I totally agree with that. I totally agree. Also, a lot of the agents can help. We have people now that are losing jobs, or many times they're losing, you know, they're transitioning. Maybe they're getting older or something is happening and they need to talk to someone about, you know, their homes. And what I mean by that is that maybe they're getting into a situation where they can no longer afford the home. They need to talk to you early before that happens. When you see it coming, you need to get a realtor immediately and start talking to them before it's too late. Did like that. Ms. Janila,
Yes,
jump right
yes.
in on that.
Yes, because NACA actually has a home save program where if you are in a home, even if it wasn't purchased with a NACA mortgage, you can be able to reach out to them and they will, it's basically the back end counseling, right? Like, okay, what do we need to do to fix this situation? But not just fix this situation. How are we going to fix it so this doesn't happen again, right? What does that actually look like? And so it's an opportunity, and they work with it in different ways to be able to either save your home and you continue to be able to make the payments, or to be able to save you from having to go through the foreclosure process. And again, that's offered to anyone, whether they have, whether the home was purchased with a NACA mortgage or not. Also, you do have the express offers that Vanda mentioned, that we're certified to be able to put your property into that. And again, but if they don't reach out early, we lose out on that ability to really help them. So when you feel the pressure, when you feel that, just give us a call. Like, we have so many things available at our disposal that you may not know about, to be able to help you in those difficult situations.
Sounds great.
Sometimes selling the house might not be the best option. Maybe you need a reverse mortgage if you're age 65 and older and you need some funds and you have a fully paid off house. You can take the equity and start getting income and never have to pay, you know, any mortgage again. Even if it's not paid off, you can still do that, but you still have to pay your HOA and your taxes and your insurance. But that could be a way for you to stay in your house as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good idea. Ms. Janila, what would you like to leave with the listeners?
I would just like to take advantage of these programs. They're out here, they're available, there are funds freely flowing. Yes, it does take a little bit of work, but take advantage of the programs, because in the long run, it's definitely going to be worth it. If you have any questions about equity protection, express offers, getting a cash offer for your house, as well as these down payment assistance programs, you can reach me. My telephone number, 281-215-3307. My social media handle is at RE with Janila B. And my website is Janila Brown, JANILA Brown, at EXPRealty.com.
That sounds great.
So yes, you can reach out to me. I would love to assist you.
Sounds great. Ms. Lockett, what would you like to leave with the listeners?
I would like to leave with the listeners that it's a process of patience, and I am here to be patient enough to help you with the home and work with you to find the financing and getting through the steps if you have the patience to do it. Because the reward is having that home ownership with one of these programs that is available to you. And I am my contact number is 713-805-1615.
Sounds good. How can they find you on social media?
Oops. I'm sorry.
How can they find you on social media? You have handles?
I do. I don't know, but they'd be wise to just Google my name, Charissa Lockett.
Okay, sounds great. Sounds great.
Have to find that where that is. I come back.
I love it. Mr. Terry, jump right in. What would you like to leave with the listeners?
Well, I'm passionate about helping my comrades in arms, veterans, people that are active duty, reservists. I just wanted to help them navigate through the system. If they have any questions about criteria and what they qualify for, get a hold of me. I can be reached at 409-549-4705. My email address is terry.richardson@exprealty.com. That's all I have. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Ms. Vanda. Jump right in. What would you like to leave with the listeners?
Well, thank you, first of all, for having us here, Dr. Hill. I'm passionate about community. I believe that we should live amongst other people, like-minded people. I'm passionate about that. And if anyone wants to journey into the home ownership, just start the process and let's see where you go. Start with a lender, see what you're qualified for. You can't go looking at a $400,000 house and you only qualify for $200,000.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's the case, let's know that first. So let's start the process. It is not a matter of if you can get qualified, it's just when. Because if you do X, Y, Z and follow the plan, you'll get there. So that's what I want to leave you with. And I can be reached at vandacrossley.com. And my phone number is 773-678-1085. Yes, I still have that Chicago exchange. So that is 773. And my Instagram is the EXP Mentor. And I'm also on YouTube, TikTok, all of them. I like playing around with all that. So thank you.
Thanks so much. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you, Houston, for everything you've done. Thank you for everything. Thank you, Realtors, for everything you all have done. We appreciate you so much. This is Dr. Cam Hill signing off from the Cam Hill Show. Talk to you soon. Bye.